Awesome. New one. So some of y'all know I've seen a couple of y'all in the first class. Awesome. Awesome. So pretty new, pretty new. Okay, we got a couple of y'all. I know y'all have been in the first one. Second one is this one. Okay, saw a few YouTubes. Awesome. 1 to 3 months, falling a little. Awesome. So I wanted to take this time for any of y'all that have not been in the first class, haven't been following me, and tell y'all a little bit about myself. And then on top of it, we're going to go into how to use Rank Fortress Academy, where to find your materials, and all that jazz, so no one gets confused, if you don't mind. But I'd also like to get to know everybody here. So if you could tell me, drop in the chat where you're from, whether it be the US, what state, I want to see where we're at with everybody here. David Hong, USA, Toronto, Arizona, Dallas, Maryland, Seattle, Houston, Boston. Any Florida people in here? Australia, but you live in Thailand. I know you, Dominic. Awesome. Georgia, Hamilton, Saudi, India. Wow. All over the place, man. Yeah, last time I had some people from South Africa. That was a first for me. All right. So I'm actually from Jacksonville, Florida. I was born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida. Lived in the US almost all my life. Right before I came to the Philippines, I was living in West Virginia. I lived in West Virginia for about 2 years, and then I'd grown an agency. I had an agency, but when I say grown an agency, it was just me. It was just me, and I had one other VA, and I had a good income, $7,000, whatever a month, and was fine with that. I didn't have to have a huge agency or nothing like that. I had a Hummer. I had all these nice vehicles. I have the pictures to show everybody, and sometimes I'll post this stuff up online. And then right before I planned on doing my vacation to the Philippines, I lost my two largest clients. So imagine having a house payment, three car payments, and getting told you can no longer be afforded by your two largest clients. And that's essentially what happened to me. And I went to making what I was making to barely making $1,000 a month, but yet still have all these bills coming in and everything. So fast forward, we go, well, I'm still going to move to the Philippines, or came to the Philippines, come over to the Philippines. My mother-in-law is what you're worrying about and everything else. And we got a car. You have your van here. We have a house. It was just the first floor. We had started building on it and everything like that. And so I decided, literally overnight, we're going to move over to the Philippines. We're going to stay in the Philippines. And so that's when I chose to stay in the Philippines. And at that time, literally, and I have the pictures and everything. And, this is why I really try to help business owners. I tell people all the time, I'm not calling myself an SEO. I'm more of a business owner. And I'm not the typical SEO that doesn't have any quote unquote business experience, as what I'm getting at. Um, and at that time, when we moved over here, my daughter winds up getting married. We still only had 3 or 4 clients, barely making $1,000 a month, but that's fine for over here, just not in the States. So I have my friend ship everything over here, ships everything over here, gets over here. And I say, I start looking on some groups for maybe some work, VA work, and virtual assistant work. And I have a guy contact me that lives in the Philippines, and he's like, why don't you, he wants to hire me for some SEO work. And I start doing SEO work for him. His name's John. So good friends with him here in the Philippines. And he said, man, you should start your own agency. And I didn't want to start my own agency because I knew running an agency really is a pain. It's hard to deal with a lot of clients a lot of times. And then I went ahead right before COVID to give y'all perspective. Right before COVID, I started taking on, a few clients here and there, and I got up to about 10 clients. That's fine. Right now, we sit well over 300 clients per month, every month. And we've, and a lot of times you'll see me post where we now have our house completely done. We got our pool done and a bunch of other stuff. And I say all that to say, I know what it takes, if you will, not only to run an agency, but to run a business, and on top of it, to get rankings. So a lot of people, a lot of times in the SEO world, from my perspective, is a lot of them will tell you how to do SEO, but don't know how to do SEO, never been in the business world a lot of times. And that's going to be the main difference you're going to find with me. A lot of time, and also on the Friday Q&As, you'll be able to ask me questions in different, let's say, scenarios. And that's one reason I do the Friday Q&As, is I want you to be able to say, all right, I have this specific situation, and could you give me some advice on it? Not just about, if you will, not just about the classes or anything, but actually as well about your own situation. Maybe you have a situation I haven't covered, and on those Fridays, I'll actually cover them as well. Yeah, 300 clients. Fantastic. Do you offer SEO to your clients as well? Is it pure GMB stuff? I only do local SEO only. I don't, I do link building, I do web design, but I'll do pay-per-click. I don't do anything like that. I can do it. I just don't do it. So let's go ahead. A lot of you have asked the question, and I know I've went over this before. And if you have any questions, just drop them in on the right-hand side in chat, and I'll get to that at the end because I just want to keep moving. But I will answer all these questions that you post in the chat. So in the masterclass Reloaded, there's a couple of things. So any of our meetings that we're ever going to have, you got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard USA time. Monday's going to be myself. Tuesday is Lane Hulk with Quantum Newswire. He goes over how to create social signals for your GMB, how to use Quantum Newswire, press releases, backlinks, a little bit of everything you can think of, and it's really good. If you've watched my YouTube channel, you'll see him on there sometimes. Then on Wednesdays, we have Brent Bowser. He's a really good friend of mine, and me and him will be on here talking about GMB. It could be everything from CTR to content to structuring your website, everything. Wednesday, and then Thursdays for our agencies or just business owners, I have a good friend named Kevin. Me and him will be on here talking about automations, how to automate your business outreach, call drops, ringless voicemail, stuff like that. Fridays are Q&As. That's really going to be the schedule. The Zoom link or Zoom call will be dropped in the group every day. And then after that, you just join. And then after the class is done, then we'll drop the video in the back end on Facebook. And then it will also be dropped in on the back end of Rank Fortress Academy. Okay. If you do not have login information to Rank Fortress Academy, I'm going to give you my email address here in the chat, which is this is my private email address. So don't give it out to everybody, but philamrush@gmail.com. So if you don't have Rank Fortress Academy login, you're going to want to get it. Okay. Because what happens is, and I've had a couple people ask this, as we do these classes, I'm dropping in the video and I'm dropping in standard operating procedures. I'm dropping in my templates. Everything that I do, I'm dropping in. So this class, literally, we are going to go step 1 to a brand new site to getting it ranked. So it's going to be, it could be something like, well, how do you set up the website structure? How do I do a GMB audit? How do I make my content? How much content? How do I do my internal linking? How do I do my outbound linking? How do I do my press releases? How do I optimize my GMB? Everything. So And what happens is after each class, I drop all the information in there. It's not dropped all in there so you can just go in there and go crazy and, you know, not know the procedure. The way my classes are set up, I want to take you by the hand and literally say, this is how we get a site ranked, you know. And you'll see me a lot of times I'll drop new classes. Like after this, I'm probably going to do another one I'll probably do is locksmith, because locksmith is a very spammy industry. How to get a locksmith, and very competitive to how to get a locksmith ranked, how to get a personal injury attorney ranked, stuff like that. I'm going to share my screen. This is Rank Fortress Academy. So what happened, let me go ahead and log out so I can actually log in and show you everything, how the whole process works. So this would be the website. And when you come here, you're going to get log into Rank Fortress. It's going to look like you're not, you know, you're not in any of the courses. We have multiple courses, but this course in specific is GMB Masterclass Reloaded. If you wanted to see what we had in Masterclass before or Mastermind, it's in this one. You would have to email me or message me and I'll give you a deal on it. But it has everything we did from last time. Last time it's supposed to take us 3 months to get someone ranked. It took us 2 months. So in that one, when we did this one, you know, it was a HVAC repair specialist up in Baltimore in Frederick, Maryland. This one that we're going to be doing, this course is actually a sod layer. So here's the courses. We go to the website. We're going to choose Masterclass Reloaded. And it's going to say see more, and it's going to say not enrolled, and people are going to go, oh my God, I'm not enrolled. But no, you click get started and log in over here. Once I log in, it will then show me the courses that I'm logged into or that I'm, you know, associated with or have been enrolled with. So this course, like if it was this one, I click here, start here, and start here is going to have the ebook. You need to download the ebook, and I give you just a few little pointers. Like I don't want people just coming in the group and just being, if you will, a spectator and not engaging. Ask questions, make friends, you know, post really, you know, post information that you think is helpful. You know, I don't know everything. I never pretend to know everything. I tell people that all the time. You know, I learn things from my own students. So we're in it together. You know, post results of anything you've implemented. I have students that will take one thing and one thing only and implement it, and they start getting results. And so I want to see that. You know, if you find anything helpful in the class, I want to hear about it. You go down here, you're going to make sure you've already joined the private Facebook group, which you should have already joined it. If you click here, it'll take you to the private Facebook group, which is right here, which is GMB Google My Business Masterclass Reloaded. In here at the top, you're going to see our pinned post, right? And it's going to have our schedule. And then here's the different teachers that will be in here with me. You can friend them and follow them as well. Then post your questions in here. Our Zoom links will be in here, right? Anything that I post will be important. You'll also have under guides. So if you go to guides, you're going to have different things I'm going to post. It may be neighborhood pages. It may be how to structure a website, but I'll post it here and I'm going to post it here. Once I'm done reading this, I'm going to hit mark as complete. And then the next step would show up as I put it in. Every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there will be new material. Any questions so far, drop it in the chat, or you feel free to raise your hand and I will unmute you. Any questions? Don't be shy. You can ask me anything you want, pretty much. Let's see, all good. Okay, so pretty much that's where you're going to get your content. That's where you're going to get your course material and everything. Let's see here. make sure, I mean, if you friend me, you could friend me on Facebook, but what tends to happen with my Facebook account, if you've known me for any period of time, my Facebook account gets taken down. I have 3 or 4 of them all at one time. So for that specific reason, because I have people that love me and then I got people that hate me. So I'm used to it by now. When's the agent? Okay, I'm going to go through some of these questions and answer them first, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you how I audit. So we got some, if we get some plenty of time, I'm going to show you how to audit a GMB and how I audit a GMB. And I have a SOP, a standard operating procedure. I have some steps. I'm going to upload that all on the back end as well, which includes my spreadsheet. I'm going to go over my spreadsheet and everything with you guys so y'all could see that. So first things first, and I'm going to drop this in the back end too so y'all could see it. But give me 1 second. And this spreadsheet is huge. And when I say huge, I mean huge. So don't overwhelm yourself with it because it's multiple steps. And we're going to go over all this in the course. So I don't want you jumping ahead unless you just want to. All right. So I have everything in this sheet. You're going to see that will be in the back end. I have my SEO checklist, right? When it comes to a website, I have my GMB task list, and I tell you what tool I use, right? And I tell you, if you want us to do it, then I can do it for you, right? But I literally go through everything we ever do in regards to GMB or local SEO is all in here. And we're going to go over every last thing. What's your business info? What's the GMB audit checklist? Because I'm a partner with GMB Crush. We go over that. We have the GMB audit checklist. We have the NAP, name, address, phone number information. It's all going to be put in here. What's your website audit? I mean, every sheet that is important is going to be in here that we use. All right. All the business categories for Google My Business. Your Google support contact, which sometimes seems useless at most days. But overall, we have everything in here. So let me go ahead and answer some of these questions, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a GMB audit. I want anybody, Zoom call lasts at minimum an hour. So we'll be here from 8 to 9, and then we usually have at least 15 to 30 minutes of Q&As. Sorry. If you can drop a business name so I can do an audit. I'm going to show you how I do my audits in my entire process. 3 Monkeys Inflatables. All right. 3 Monkeys Inflatables. That's a catchy little name. All right, let's pull everything up. So 3 Monkeys Inflatables. 3 Monkeys. What's the address? Because there's a couple of 3 Monkeys Inflatables. Is it St. Augustine, Florida, Pennsylvania, or on Boxwood Road? 21 Boxwood Road. I love it. So what we have here, give me 1 second, let someone else in. So I have this little handy dandy, and I'll go to its Chrome extension, if you will. We go to GMB Crush. You could go to the Chrome store and find it as well. But the audit tool I'm going to suggest y'all get is called GMB Crush GMB Audit Tool. When I install this to, my Chrome browser, it allows me to essentially audit any business or I can literally audit. I'll show you how to audit the rest of them, but let's get out of Three Monkeys real quick. Let's go to, let's just say roofer Jacksonville, or let's say roofer near Jacobus, Pennsylvania, right? When I'm using GMB audit, and this other one on the right is called Plepper, but GMB audit, essentially, if I was a roofer in this area, I could go, for example, and what I do with my spreadsheets, which I'll show you, is I want to take the top 5 to 6 people and say, what are they doing that I'm not doing? And essentially, I want to say, why are they at the top? Most SEOs will tell you, okay, well, you need to fix all your on technical SEO. You need to do all this other stuff first. That's just not the way I work. I don't do that ever for any of my agencies. I don't do it ever for any of my clients. But what we'll do is we'll say, for example, I click on S&M construction, and I want to see, I'll go through everything with them. But the first thing we do is we run a GMB Crush, and GMB Crush will actually show me the categories they're using. Right? When I click on it, it'll go through everything, it'll crush it. And then it will show me what are the categories they're using, right? Is it just one category? But most of the time people are using, like in this case, they use a roofing contractor, gutter cleaning service, and a siding contractor. So I will then take that information and put it into my audit spreadsheet, which I will show you. All right. I want to know, does this guy, and let me go ahead and just pull it up. Does this guy have his keyword in his business title, which is this right here? The GMB title. Is his keyword in here? Is his location in here, right? I want to know all this information. Let me get this spreadsheet for y'all. And I'm going to drop this in the back end, but I just kind of want to show y'all. So this is the GMB audit form, right? What's their name, address, and phone? Do they got the keyword in their business? Is the location in the business? What's their website link? What categories are they using? What's their hours of operation? What's their payment methods? What's their description? You know, how many posts are they doing? Are they replying to reviews? How many reviews do they have? You know, I want to do this for at minimum the top 3. Current site is your site, and the top 3 would be the top 3 competition that is ranking in GMB for whatever term you're trying to rank for, right? In this case, let's say it was roofer near Jacobs, PA. And then I go through all of this. Like I could, like this guy's remodeling, this guy's roofing, this guy's this, you know, and I can look at all this information, and then I go into and see what are their posts like. Do they have products? Do they have photos? Are they replying to their reviews? I want to find their strengths, and I want to find their weaknesses. I want to find their strengths because that's what's helping them rank. And I want to find their weaknesses because then I can take advantage of their weaknesses and find stuff that they're not doing that they should be doing. Right? So let's go to Three Monkeys again. There we go. Three Monkeys inflatables. That little star will go over, but basically Google's testing some things. I'll put it that way. They're testing emojis and a bunch of other shit right now. So some of it will come, some of it will go. You know, they just kind of trying to find what's working, what's not working. And we'll go over all that. So, because I've seen someone ask a question about it already. So it tells you, for example, this person's using many categories. One of the things I will tell you whenever I'm doing an audit is I try to stick to 3 to 4 categories, one main category and 3 to 4 subcategories, no more. A lot of times you'll come in here and someone goes, well, I'm a roofer, but I do these 20 other services. And then they list all those 20 other categories and all these other services. And then what happens because of this is they're diluting the information they're giving Google. And basically it doesn't send out strong signals. So what you want to do is you want to have one main category, 3 to 4 other subcategories at minimum. And we will go over how do I pick the categories and what categories do I put it with. We'll go over all that. But for today, we're just going to audit this GMB, and y'all can continue to drop a couple more in there, and I'll audit several today to go through the process a couple of times. So I'm looking at, this is Three Monkeys Inflatables. She's got reviews. Let's look at the reviews. Reviews, great. She's got responses. One thing you could do as well when you're in here responding reviews, click like. I always want to click like on these, but your responses are great. Instead of it just being a generic response of thank you very much, we appreciate it, it's an actual good response. I tend to like using their first name whenever I go, well, thank you, Amanda. I love to hear this. That's the only thing I'd wind up saying. Make sure you're always using what you are, your part, your main keywords, and your location, because she said providing Glen Rock in your review responses. Besides, what I was saying is using longer responses and use their names. Also click on the like. You may want to share, and we go through this in some other aspects, but what you're going to want to do too is you can actually save these reviews as a share, which most people don't understand. You can actually share it on Facebook. You can share it on Twitter, but then you can also take this link, and I can actually use this link elsewhere to, if you will, send reviews, and not just send reviews, but send backlinks and different stuff to it to actually send traffic to that particular post or particular review. All right, so those are her reviews. Now let's go through. You got your actual address, physical address, which is good. You have your booking link here, which is good. You have your website link, which is good. Your booking link, I want to open this and see because it didn't look like it. Yep, you have your order date, so it's actually going to, really cool looking website, catchy too. It goes to your actual appointment link. Sometimes people don't do that. What you always want to do is make sure your appointment link is going to your actual contact us or booking page on your website. Okay. She's identified it as woman led, which is awesome. Let's look at your posts. So, yep. If you're unmuted, please mute yourself so I don't hear static the entire time. Thank you, guys. So your reviews are actually, not your reviews, but your posts are pretty good. They're along the same lines of what I'd want to do. I will go over this in another class, but your post should always be an image of what you're trying, the service you're trying to push. In this case, if this was graduation party ideas, and she even mentioned here top 3 graduation ideas, right? Your main keyword should be one of the first words mentioned in the very first of the sentence, right? Then after that, and I'll show you all this in another program, but then you want to have your information here. And then she has her name, address, phone number here. The one thing that I don't see them doing, which is one of the things I do, is after this, I have your name, address, phone number, and I have a link to your previous post. Okay. And then I also have a learn more link, which would then go to, let's see where hers go to, which then would go to that actual page, which is what she's doing, which is great. And I post 5 days a week at minimum, and I've had people tell me over and over, you don't have to. And you don't have to, but if you want to rank, you should. And I can show you case study after case study where we've taken people that are posting once or twice a week, posting 5 days a week, and it changes, their rankings. Besides changing their rankings, changes their traffic. I'm just want to go through here. So I'd be a little bit more consistent in my posts, but we'll go over that. But at least one thing I like is you are posting, you have, it down to certain, there's a couple of things I'd tweak, which I've already went over, which is mainly the previous post link. And I'll share with y'all one of those as well on another class, but you have that, which is great. Let's see if you got products down here. I don't see you having products. Do you not have products? Okay, so if you don't have products, I would definitely put my products in there. And a lot of people will say, well, I don't have products. Yeah, you do. So your products in this case would be your services. So your rentals, all of these different rentals that you have here, I would be putting as products in here. And I'll give you an example of that. Take every one of these, and these are all going to be products on your GMB. And what most people don't realize, you can actually take, and when you build out a product, you could put 750 words inside the product description. You could put your optimized image. I can show you, and I will on another one, how do we make catchy and increase click-through rate with animated GIFs. Because a lot of people will tell you you can't do animated GIFs on products. Actually, you can, but there's a hack to doing it. You can't just upload a GIF and it's going to work. We do it a certain way to get that to work. Overall, I mean, it's a pretty good GMB. This one is, looking at it, you have more done than most people will do. Most of the GMBs I look at when I first get them, have pretty much nothing filled out. The main thing you want to look at is everything filled out? Are you using it to a max? A couple of things, depending on the niche, depending on the area, I may or may not put the keyword or the city in the title. That's why I audit your competition first before I go trying to edit my own. I want to see, what does my competition have? Those are the main things I want to see. And I'll show you an actual GMB post, since you've asked me to, audit yours. I'm going to show you the couple of tweaks I would do on a GMB post and show you how we actually structure them. For anyone asking, yes, I live in the Philippines and I have a team of 34 people. So it's not a matter of us it's not just a one-man show. I actually have a bunch of different, we have 30 something people. They all stay here. Let's go here. Angelina. Let's go post. All right. So here's a post and how I personally, when we do them, this is how we do them. So this is one of our posts. You'll see we have the information. Then we have find us here sometimes. Then we'll put in the name, address, phone number. Then we'll put in the latest, check out our last post or latest post, which is referring back to this one. And we get that information. You can do it one or two ways. I use Local Viking, or you can just grab the share post link here and refer back to it whenever I make my next post. All right. And then the learn more goes to the actual page, which we're trying, in this case, is Stone. If you wanted to open up that, it would then take you to the Stone page, in which it's for landscaping. All right. So that's another one. Let me show you the products so you get an idea of how we do the products. So in the case of products, like in this case, it's soil, gravel and sand, stone, or mulch. So let's choose gravel and sand. So in gravel and sand, I can put up to 1,000 words of content if I want to. Then I link it over to the page, in this case, sand. You want to fill this out. You want to fill every portion of this out as possible. If I go to, your GMB, I should have, it filled out with posts at least 5 days a week. And you can consistently, you'll see the way I post is the information with a link, the name, address, phone number, to check our latest post with a link to the actual page. The next thing I want to go through, and I want to say, okay, under your info, Do you have all this filled out? And you'll see me a lot of times, I'll put, in this case, the keyword we're ranking for, landscaping materials, and the location in the title. I only stick to about 3 to 4 categories, right? The address, I stick to a handful of service areas. I don't, this one's in specific as a, not a sob, but we'll still put in some service areas. What's the hours of operation? Google recently changed your short name, which is right here. If you have a short name, don't change it. You can only delete it. You can only delete it. You can't edit it anymore. According to Google, they're not allowing you to edit. If you try to edit it, it tells you editing's no longer supported. You can delete it, but you won't be able to add another one, right? Your appointment link should go to your contact page. In this case, your products should be your services or whatever product you're selling. Fill it out as much as possible. If you got 20 products, put 20 in here. The title of your products, the title of the service. You don't have to put the price in here, but what I would encourage you to do is put as much content as possible. Learn more button should go to the page about that product. Services, you're going to fill those out as well. Then you have your website. This website is your Google free website. I'm not really too concerned about this because that's all populated by information as you're putting it in here. But the key point is you need to take away from this is you need to have all this information filled out. Now, let me look at another one, see who else has another one. We'll go through another one because that's not a typical, honestly, GMB. So let's go. Drop another one. I'm going to look at another one. Popcorn ceiling removal, Austin. All right. So this is popcorn ceiling removal, Austin. Let's look at their pictures. I could tell you straight up. I would get rid of this. Some of these. This picture would not be my main picture. I'd be doing some other pictures. Like I like some of these pictures because a lot of them are actual pictures of actual jobs, and that's what I'd want to feature. Let's go underneath your reviews. Let's see. So even a negative review, I respond. I don't just let it sit there because it shows if you're not responding to it, it's showing like you don't really give a crap. You don't care. And how do I respond? Do you know that in your reviews, you can respond up to 1,000 words, right? And someone's going to say, well, why would you want to do that? Well, I started out and say, obviously Dinesh didn't receive our 5-star rating popcorn ceiling removal. Are our outstanding services, and you talk about your services, and then you can literally list out all your services that evidently Dinesh didn't get. That's one way you can deal with it. The other way you can deal with it is flagging it and hope to God Google Gods answer you and remove it, which 99.9% of the time they don't. So I tend to respond to them. The other way is if you actually know the person, you can actually send a cease and desist letter to them via a lawyer. And usually if you slap a lawyer letter over to them, they will remove it because they think they're going to get in trouble. But I generally respond to them. Like you have a lot of negative ones in here. None of them are even responded to. This one's responded to, but this is a very generic. These I would never want to write a very generic response, right? And I use Conversion AI to write my responses, right? Conversion AI, and I'll show you how I do this so you can see it. So I log into my Conversion AI. I'm going to take and show you how to write a Google review because a lot of people be like, I don't have the time and I don't know how to write a review, right? Go to Conversion AI. This is how we do it, right? The name of this business is Popcorn Ceiling Removal Austin, right? So let's go here. Popcorn ceiling removal Austin, right? Spell that right. What's the reviewer's name? Let's take this one right here. Christopher. So let's just use it, Christopher. And it is a 1-star rating. I put the 1 star in my conversion AI. I'm going to type in professional. I want it to be professional, not necessarily friendly. I put in his review and I hit generate AI content, and conversion AI is going to spit out a review response it's going to spit out 3 outputs for me, and I choose which one I want. Like this one. Hey, Christopher, I'm sorry to hear you're unhappy with your service you've received. We never want our customers to feel that way, and we take your feedback very seriously. I'll reach out to you as soon as possible so we can discuss this in more detail. This one or this one. So now I have some good responses, and instead of it looking like a generic response, it looks like I actually care. Like this one even. Okay, let's go Nadav. He did a good review. Let's take a good review and let's show you how we do the same thing. Generate AI content. It's going to spit out 3 different outputs for me, and then I use that like this one. Hey Nadav, thank you for your review. I'm glad to hear that Robert did a great job. We do offer popcorn ceiling removal in Austin. It's one of our most popular services. It sounds like you were very happy with the results. We're always looking for new customers, so if there's anything else we can do, please reach out. And I didn't have to do anything but copy and paste. So that's one of the benefits of having conversion AI, because it can do a lot of this heavy lifting for you. So that's the reviews part of it. You have an open in a website, but you don't have an appointment link. I don't know why you don't have an appointment link, but you don't. You have, this is a very typical, when someone's doing GMB posts and haven't been trained, they're posting an image and that's about it. So he posts an image. There's no content. There's nothing telling me. It's not linking back to my website. So there's a whole lot we can do. And this is very typical, but the one benefit he does have, you do have here, you have been posting, you're just not posting enough, not nearly enough, maybe once a month. Then we go down to your photos. We already seen those. You're definitely posting them of your jobs, which is great. As far as geotagging, don't waste your time because Google scrapes it off. You can geotag them and upload them on your own website and your own assets or own other places you want to put it, but to do it on Google is a waste of time. Let's go through the rest of it. And I don't see products here as well. And I don't see services listed out as well. So those are some things I would do in regards to those 2. Let me go over to y'all's questions. Like I said, this video will be uploaded in the back end. I am going to put the audit sheets in the back end. That's just a rough and quick one we're going to do, or 2, and we're going to do it step by step whenever we do it the next time. Let's go through here. So I got a bunch of questions. Okay. Yeah, you don't have camera. It's okay if y'all don't have cameras and stuff. I just like seeing everybody's faces. It's just, rather than just staring at blank screens the entire time. All right, let's get down to the questions. Vegas, and y'all are all over the place today. All right. See your truck. Do I offer SEO to my clients as well, or is it pure GMB stuff? I offer complete SEO packages. It's all on rankfortress.com underneath my services, and then I also offer the classes. My email, personal email, if you need to get a hold of me, is philamrush@gmail.com. Phil, it's philamrush@gmail.com. If you do not get a hold of me, do not think I'm ignoring you. I live in the Philippines, and most of you are going to live in the States or in other parts of the world. And while y'all are awake, I am asleep. Okay. But I promise you, I will get to you. Best way to do it is get a hold of me via email. Will I do classes on rank and rent and on using Gutenberg? No, I'm not teaching rank and rent. I do not teach rank and rent. I teach it to just my partners and my partners alone. Will I be going over Gutenberg though? Yes, I will be going over Gutenberg. Gutenberg is a WordPress website builder versus using Elementor, if any of those that want to know. And Gutenberg, I can get my Vital Core, which is what this last Google algorithm update was about. I can get my Vital Core scores up to in the 90s. If I'm using Elementor, most of the time they're going to be in the 30s and 50s. Okay. Facebook group login later. There is no Facebook quote unquote group login later. If you did not receive the Facebook group, which you should have on checkout, email me. The agency mastermind is probably going to be live in a few weeks. Will the principles I teach also apply to SEO for non-local businesses as well? No, I don't teach anything but local SEO. Okay, I mean, if you have a non-local business, and let's say it was in a business, it's in multiple states, you could still apply what I teach as long as you get multiple GMBs. Yes, I love my haters. Also, do you go over multi-location stuff? Yes. Will I go over GMB verification? No, I will not. That part I do not teach. Just from the sheer fact you get too many people doing, GMB verification, and the next thing you know, the GMB verification doesn't work anymore. So that's why I will not teach it to people. I do know how to do it, but I just don't teach it. I have tons of paper lead and rank and rent experience. I have like close to 26 partners that I deal specifically with rank and rent, because I also white label for rank and rent. White label meaning I do all the websites, the content, the SEO and everything, and you go get the money, essentially is what it means. We do the same thing for agency. The agency comes to me and says, hey, I got this client that needs SEO. I do it for them. I do the SEO. I get the rankings. I have all the software and everything. So an agency, when they work with me, does not need to have all the software because I have it all. If you need audits and you come to me and say, hey, here's 5 audits, can you get them to me end of day? I get them to you by end of day, no problem. Well, my classes will you do classes? And once again, on agency, yes. In about 2 weeks, rank and rent, no. Gutenberg, yes. Each call is about an hour, maybe a little longer. Okay, it just depends. In regards to the yellow icon that was on the 3 monkeys, we'll go over that. That is an emoji. They're pulling out emojis now as late on Google. They're testing some things as well. So we'll definitely be going over that. Pamela Beckard, if you're having problems getting into the course, email me and I will send over a Loom video and give you step-by-step and show you exactly how to do it. Schema, no, it could be, but they've been there's some of the yellow start could be, but they've been testing some things. So, but it's not the reviews schema, which is what most people think. How long does an audit typically take me to complete? 5 minutes. I can do an audit pretty fast with the tools that I'm going to be showing y'all, which is GMB Crush, Plepper, and just the spreadsheets alone. When I have these spreadsheets, and why I'm going to be giving these to you is because it will organize everything, because I literally ask the questions that you need to ask. For example, on the GMB audit checklist, okay, is the GMB listing claimed or owned? Have they done that? Is it a service area or physical location? Does the GMB include the logo in the profile? Where's the business located? Do they mention the city? All these things, I go through it. It's about, let me get it all the way down, the audit sheet, and I'll share it with y'all again, but I will be dropping this in the back end. This audit sheet is 150 questions. These are all important to know. So that will be in on the back end as well. Let's go through here. So I'm just trying to answer all your questions and then we can move on. Okay. Just going on through all this real quick. Okay. It's a lot of questions. Give me a few seconds. You have a tool. Okay. Do I have a tool that automates my responses to reviews, or do I answer them manually? Currently, I answer them manually, but I am working on an AI, artificial intelligence, to do that. I have several AI tools that I'm working on to automate most of what's done on GMB. And I will be putting that out. We have two that will be putting it out this week. So one has to do with virtual assistants. The other one has to do with content. I would believe that you'd want to manually respond to reviews. Not with AI. You don't have to, because it can pull the review and it can respond to the review using their name. I don't have to do it manually. But we're working on that still. How do you get information on the right side of your map? It shows categories, place ID, CID, etc. It's via the Chrome extension. That Chrome extension, which is GMB Crush, is what's going to show all of that information you're seeing over there, like the CID, and I'll show it to you again. So let's pull that. That way you could see it. So there's two things that you're seeing that I use as extensions. This is GMB Crush, where you're seeing the CID and you're seeing the categories and all this here. That's GMB Crush. This over here on the right hand side is Plepper, and I use both of them. I prefer GMB Crush because when we go to do a run, and I'll show you this when we do a physical audit together from step 1 on the way down, it pulls everything for me. How many posts are they doing and everything. So that should answer that question. Okay. Yep. And Dominic dropped the GMB Crush tool in there. Yes, Plepper's on the right-hand side. How many words should a post be? I try to do as maximum as possible, but I generally stick it around 250, 300 words. That's about it. I don't do any more than that. 250 words should be good enough for what we're going to be doing. When would you not put the location in the GMB title? The only time I would not do it is if I don't see, when I go to do an audit and I don't see my competition doing it, I'm not going to need to do it, because I reverse engineer, okay, and I go, all these people that are doing bounce houses in, let's say, Connecticut, how many of them are actually using their keyword and location in their title? And that's what I base everything off of. I don't go, well, I'm just going to do it regardless, okay? A lot of people will do it regardless. And that's just, I'm not that guy. I don't do that. So that's just me. Then let's see, what do I do with a name, address, phone, service area business? I can't use that for the service area businesses. So that type of post would not apply for a SOB business or a service area business. What are the rules in regards to links and post, product descriptions, etc.? According to the way I do my posts, it is a violation of Google's terms of services. You are not supposed to put links inside of your post. Google even came out and said, hey, we're against this. I will tell you this, there are times when Google will reject a post if you do it. Most of the time, they do not reject the post. I could tell you that it helps with rankings tremendously when you do it that way. Google would only come out and tell you, hey, don't do it if, in my opinion, it's working. Google usually will tell you, hey, stop doing something when generally it's working. But the rule is, no links inside the GMB post, but obviously it works. Obviously, I'm still doing it. And we don't just do it for one business, two business, whatever. We do it for hundreds upon hundreds of businesses. By end of year, we're looking at, we'll have over 3,000 clients. So if it's a service GMB, like an electrician, do I put the same services under products? Yes. Your services should match your products. And we're going to go over that because I'm actually, the difference between this class and last one, the client's website was already built. This one, I'm literally building the entire website, building all the content, and y'all get to see the whole process. Might seem like a little drawn out, but the thing is, if you see everything, then you're going, okay, well, when I go to start my site or whenever I go to create a page, I know how I should do it versus just going, oh, let me just create a page and not putting any thought into it. Okay. Got that one. Does Local Viking keep the geo data? That's debatable. And to be honest with you, I'm an affiliate of Local Viking, but I've heard them say basically when you upload it, it has the geo data on it. But what Google does with that data afterwards, it's not on them, which is an easy way, in my opinion, of saying, hey, we don't know. But I can tell you for a fact that geo data is stripped. It does not get transferred over whatsoever to Google My Business. None. Now, that being said, you having your logo or your address or some information in your image that you're uploading, Google's AI does read that. Do we manually respond to each review? Currently, yes, but we're working on AI to get that automated. Dan, yeah, I'd like to like the review reply offered by Conversion. Yeah, it's amazing, Dan. Where in AI did you find the review button? So in Conversion AI, and I'll go back to it because Conversion AI, if you don't have it, email me and I'll send you my affiliate so you can get it, or you can just go to it yourself and get it that way. It doesn't matter to me either way, but if you go to Conversion AI, and we're going to be going over this in class, there's a bunch of stuff you can use this for, but if you go to Google, you got Google Ads headline, their description. It will write posts for you, an event post, a product description for your GMB. It will write an offer description for your post. But if you wanted to specifically the reviews, I just go up into search and I type in review and it shows me review responder. And then I type in what's my company name, what's the reviewer's name, how many star ratings was it? I want it to be a tone of voice as professional usually, or you can put in funny. You can put in different types of voices you want to use. What's the customer review? And copy and paste it there, and then it creates the content AI. It's amazing to me. So let's see what else. So I keep getting them. So let me go up here. Yeah. All right. So Google review option, went over that. Is GMB sensitive right now for making all these changes? Nope. I did, and I'll be honest with you, I took probably 70 clients, I want to say a week ago during the algorithm update, and updated business names, and not one of them got flagged, not one of them got taken down. And I upload and optimize sites all the time, and my team uploads and optimizes stuff all the time, and I've never had an issue. One thing I will tell you is don't go in there trying to change the damn address, especially doing their algorithm update. Review responder, yep. A few weeks back, you said you weren't using CID as much, just to share link now. I'm not using, I don't send links to or backlinks to the CID. I think it's a waste of time. So the way I do SEO is not going to be like everybody else, which is going to be, they stick to one thing. I believe in testing, which is see if it works. And if I see something's not working as much as it used to be, I will stop using it, and I will use what actually works. So that's what that's about. So Dan says, I've got a painter and a pool service client. What images do you use if the client has been picked for a job? I use stock images. I try not to use stock images as much as possible, but in some cases you have to. Okay. Do you ever add location, product, service? Yes, I do. I do it all the time. So house painting, Seattle, roofer, Orlando, Florida. I do that all the time. And people can hate on you or say, hey, don't do it. You're spamming the industry, whatever. I can tell you for a fact that it is one of the number one ranking signals is what is your business name? Do you have your keyword and location in your title? And people will tell you what's a violation of terms and services. Maybe the way you've been taught or doing it is a violation of terms and services, but it is not a violation of terms and services if you're doing business as your DBA or business name is called, let's say, House Painter Seattle. If I have a DBA or a license that presents myself in the real world as House Painter in Seattle, then that is how I'm supposed to represent myself on a GMB. Now, that being said, if I don't have a DBA and I don't have an actual business registration as House Painter in Seattle, then yes, it is a violation of terms and services. And the reason I tell people you need these things, DBA or your business license, and it just match your GMB is because if you do get taken down and Google asks for what we call a readdressal form, and they're going to ask you for credit card statement, a lease, a business license that has your same exact business name on it. Now I have it. And as soon as they see it, they put it back up. If you don't have that, you're going to be, crap out of luck. Okay. I don't have any GMB clients right now. Do I teach how to get clients? That's actually going to be in the agency course, which I've had 4 or 5 people ask me about. And yes, we're going to go over all that. I literally teach everybody in the agency course how I went from 4 clients to hundreds in, less than a year. It'll be a year this August. In the first 30 days, I was over 40 clients. So I could teach you how to do that. I get a lot of people sliding into my DM and, PMing me and stuff. And I made a post on my GMB on Facebook the other day about it. That is not the way you're going to get clients. Very specific on how we do it. Do you use that audit as a deliverable and fill everything in? No, I do not. And I'll go over my agency, John, on agency course on how I do audits and how I sell it. I mean, pretty much if you follow my steps, if you have 10 clients now, you should have 20 in less than a month. If you can't, you're not following my steps because I'm very specific in how I do things. And if you gave me 10 leads, I'll probably close over half of them. So it's just, I have a very specific way. I don't use, if you will, someone mentioned the other day, a slide deck. I don't do slide decks. I think they're a waste of time, especially when it comes to GMB. I will go over that. Let's see here. And yes, underneath rankfortress.com, underneath my services, you will see my price list because I go over all that as well. After an audit, if a competitor doesn't use geo and title, what's your approach? It depends once again on that area. And we're going to go through it literally step by step through the course. Hey, William. Hey, Lewis. Sorry for being late to the party. How soon after a live call will the recording be put up? I do my best to get it up within an hour. I live in the Philippines, and I'm going to tell y'all, if I ever lose power, and that has happened, just know that I'll make it up to you because I live in the middle of, the woods. So what happens, I will lose power sometimes, or I'll send out an announcement on Facebook, and we make it up to you guys. Did I miss where the access backend? Yes, Steve, you're going to need to check that at the beginning of the video. Yes, Lewis and Josh, you're going to check that at the beginning of the video. And there's a video inside of the group that literally tells you underneath the guides, it tells you how to get your access. If you do not have access, email me, and I dropped my email already. Let's see, talking about covering multiple states. We'll go over that. Multiple GMBs, we'll be going over that. The conversion AI, I don't know how much conversion AI costs. I can sign out and I'll find out. But if you do it through the affiliate link, they usually give you a discount. Let me look real quick. The pricing, I have unlimited. It's $109 a month for the professional version, and that's unlimited, and it's worth every penny. We write millions of words of content right now, so and that gives you 3 seats. I appreciate that, Lance. He says, everybody give me a positive review. I appreciate it. If you want to know how to get my link to get a review in my email, I actually have my, my Google My Business link review. Or if you drop me a video review after you've been through the course, that's even awesome too. Deposit photos with stock images. Yep, that's what I use. All right. If you're dealing with a vacation home realtor and you're going to be visible in other cities, would it be multiple GMBs is always the answer, but in multiple locations. And that's what I do most of the time. The rank and rent subscription, you're going to have to email me, Dan, if you want more information about that. I actually have a video on it on my YouTube. So, I'll go cover that in later. So what's going to happen, like tomorrow, like I said, we'll have Lane on. He's going to talk about press releases and GMB and creating GMB signals. With me, I'm going to literally walk through every day. So what I'm going to want you to do, I'm going to drop in the back end of the course. You're going to get this little tool right here. This is your homework that I want done this week. And I'm going to show it to you again and you'll see it. But this spreadsheet right here is a GMB audit form. You're going to go through it and you're going to list your site. What's your name, address, phone number, and website link? What's the number 1 person, same information, 2 and 3. Is the keyword in the business name, 1, 2, and 3 in yours? Same across. What's the website link? What's the categories? What's your hours of operation? What's your payment methods? What's your description? Are you replying to reviews? How many posts have you done in the past 90 days? What's the type of copy you use? Are you using good copy? How many words are you using? How many links? All right, where are you sending your links to in your Learn More? Do you have your question and answers optimized on your GMB? Are you uploading images? What type of images? Are they jobs or are they stock photos? Are you using videos, right? Your GMB embedded, or do you have it embedded on your contact page of the website along with your home page? So this I want filled out by Friday, and then whenever we come on, and once you have it filled out, then I want you to email it to me. And then I can, on Friday, when I go through these, I can go through them and say, I'm going to pick a handful of them, and then we'll go through a handful of them. And then on Fridays, we have our live Q&As as well. All right. This is part of the GMB toolkit. In the GMB toolkit, which you'll get everything, I have the way I do my posts, my audit process, the GMB categories, everything. I got my tool list, everything. All this is going to be dropped in on the back end today. And then your homework, like I said, though, is to actually do an audit of your business versus the top 3 competition in the maps. All right. Any questions besides all the, ones we read? Do I build GMB to sell leads? Yes. I have my own rank and rents as well. Yep. And I'll be doing some teaching on agencies. How many of you, just give me a 1, how many of y'all are actual agencies? Okay. How many of you are not in an agency, but just own one business? Do a 2. Okay. That gives me some good information. Yeah, I'd rather rank and rent's a very good model. Some people say no, but some people say yes. Anywhere from 20, you can sell leads anywhere from $10 on to hundreds of dollars. I am in one niche, which it's, people are like, I can't believe it, but crime scene cleanup. And that pays anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 a job up to $11,000 a job. So depending on if you have a government contract or not. All right, any other questions? Because I'm going to get off here and I'm going to upload this on the back end of the group. It will be uploaded into Facebook. If you have any questions, drop them inside Facebook or email me, and I will be uploading all this spreadsheets and audit forms and everything else in the back end of the group. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Repeat my email again. I'll drop it here. It's Phil, FILAMRUSH @gmail.com. That is my personal email address. Like I said, if you reach out to me and I do not respond immediately, just realize it's because I live in the Philippines and I might be asleep if you're awake. Awesome, guys. I appreciate it. It's just a start, you know. I have some students in here. If you want to hear testimonials or anything, I'll drop some of those in to the group as well, because I got tons of them. And I have people that weren't able to rank before, and then they take the class and see exactly how we do everything. And then they start ranking with just applying, you know, just the basics of doing an, you know, audit. Let me go ahead and give y'all the, if you don't have the Facebook group URL, I'm going to drop it in here one last time, but you should already have it. If you don't have it, go over to the group. There it is. Awesome. Brand new GMB. How long does it take me to rank it? Depends on the client, Lewis. It could, I believe the one we're going to do probably take me less than 2 months. Generally speaking, it depends on the niche. Sometimes 1 to 2 months, sometimes 3 months, sometimes 6 months to a year. It just depends on the niche. One of the other classes I'm going to do in the future is ranking, if you will, a plumber, ranking, you know, specifically the spammy niches like locksmith, tower, personal injury lawyer, the niches that everybody says that's really hard that I can get results in 2 to 3 months. So, but we'll be going over all that. I appreciate you guys. If you have any questions or anything, make sure to drop them in my email or drop them on the Facebook, and I'll be uploading everything in there. Jiver, I just allowed you in, and Mr. Singh, I allowed you into the group as well. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you, guys.